Hey everybody, you're listening to BAM Pod. We've got some outtakes for you this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is one of your two hosts, Gavin. We've had a bit of a busy couple weeks, so we thought we'd share some of our cut for time episodes, segments, rants. First up, we got something from our very first episode, doing a little rant on Joker and Gotham.
It was just the casting and
just
the
didn't-
weird. Well, and here's the thing too: is he was
didn't do
not the
anything.
main focus. He was not the main focus, which is fine. Joker doesn't have to be the main focus, although a lot of times in media, especially comic book media, he is just because he's like the top guy.
He just didn't
in
need to
Gotham.
be there.
But they focused. It was so focused more on like Harley Quinn and the rest of the Suicide Squad that they just threw him in because they have to. They're like, we have to have him. It's DC. But they gave no effort into
Right.
him at all.
And I think that's the difference is like, effort and trying and like you are
Yeah.
also marketing
Yeah.
it as more of you're marketing the movie as a more traditional Joker comic book movie, whereas like the Walking Phoenix one is like, we are not making a more comic booky movie. We are making more grounded, realistic type thing. It's also in the marketing.
Well, and going off of that, like Gotham, I really love their villain characterizations in that show.
I have a lot of problems with
No,
Gotham.
I really, but I hate their Bruce Wayne and especially their Catwoman, Selena. Fucking, I hate those. Like all the kids, all the younger characterizations are so bad, and it's not. I don't think it's a actor thing. I think it's literally the content they were given. But the world they built with the older villains and specifically like the cops.
Gotham would be a better show without Bruce Wayne.
Yes. It's because it's literally all about the hierarchy of Gotham and building this world that then Bruce Wayne and Batman is in later, right? It's not about him yet. It's about the base of this whole.
And it's the other thing is like
Yeah.
the whole point of like what they talk about in like later Batman movies and comics is like it's about the escalation. Like Batman is a guy in a costume running around stopping regular crimes, so people come out in costumes to stop this, like go after this costume guy. It doesn't make any sense in a world with no Batman to have Scarecrow, Rage, Firefly, all these costume characters to come out like this. Like Penguin is probably the only one that makes the most sense to have in that show as like his identity as a crime villain, because he's just a crime boss called the Penguin. And like, but like everybody else, like
Right.
you can have Scarecrow, you can have Enigma, you can have these characters, but they shouldn't be their like Batman level villain.
They're not in their peak form yet. We're just learning
And it
their
should
like
be more
base,
about like the day to day
which
corruption of
and
Gotham.
building up.
Honestly, it should have just been Law and Order with Jim Gordon.
Yeah.
If we're being realistic.
well, and like in the first season, it really was a lot of Gordon focused, and then they throw in Bruce, and you're like, no. Like when I would watch it, I would skip through the Bruce Selena stuff and just watch the Gordon and the villains, like and all the mob, like, because that's the heart of it.
After that, from the Oscars predictions episode, we got into a little bit of a rant on costume design. Kendall gets very heated about Society of the Snow, and a little more to tune into as well.
Fuck is Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1? What part are we
Tom
on?
Cruise, so-
I missed
It's
some
like
stuff.
the last. It's like the 2-part finale. Of the
I
Mission
didn't realize it
Impossible
was a
franchise.
2-part finale. I thought they were okay. That's on me. That's on me. I also didn't realize Napoleon made the cut.
Yeah,
Which is funny.
it's just because Ridley Scott. To be fair,
That's fair. No. Did you see Godzilla?
I haven't had a chance to see
It's
it yet.
so fucking good, man. And I do think it got cheated. It should have gotten way more nominees, but you know.
I feel like there should be more in each category. I feel like 5 is not that much.
Right.
I get you're trying to whittle it down, but like
I swear in
There's-
years past, and maybe I'd have to look it up. Maybe I'm entirely wrong. I swear in years past they've had like 6, 7, 8, in each category. I don't know.
But yeah.
Yes, yes.
And honestly, Killers of the Flower Moon's the only movie in this category I don't want to see at all, because I honestly I don't care.
I'm interested, but it's so long. I mean, Oppenheimer's
It's
long
not
too,
the length.
but
I don't give it. I just don't care. Like I understand the story and like,
I
but
think I
it
think
just feels like white people patting themselves on the back. Again.
exactly. It's like you tried to make a story about indigenous people, but it also isn't really about them. It's about the white people taking over. So,
Right.
what is really the goal here?
All the props to Lily Gladstone and everything, but
Also because, I mean, one of the iconic things with the Barbie dolls is the clothes that you could buy to put on them. Like, that's the point. So just the way that they recreated that to be a life-size outfit, yeah. Now, a lot of times, uh, people, and I would say people as in the general population, get costume design, makeup and hairstyling, and production design mixed up. They are all very similar, and they all kind of fall under the production design category. But costume design, specifically what is being worn, and then makeup and hairstyling is anything from basic eyeliner, everyday wear to practical and prosthetics.
they all or they all affect like the aesthetic of the movie.
Right.
But they are definitely different. It's like what the scene looks like, what they're wearing, what their face looks like.
On Netflix, they also have their little 30-minute documentary about how it's made, and they kind of go into, it's not quite hair and makeup, but they went into a really specific, like, and we'll get into this. I could, maybe I'll do an opinions on Society of the Snow, because I just have a passion for the whole story in general, but they went into detail of, like, they shot chronologically so that the actors could, like, healthily, they had nutritionists healthily help them, but, like, lose weight so that over the progress of time, they had more prominent features and were obviously starving. But I mean, it's so specific. The chapped lips, the tiny little frosts of snow, the sunspots and the sunburns. It's so good. And it's so heavy, like the amount of stuff they had to put on. And that's just the every scene after, but not to even go into like the injuries and all of that makeup as well. It's insane. But yeah, I mean, and even just looking up the trailer, you can see the makeup. It's so fantastic. Godzilla, I think, definitely should at least have been nominated, and same with Society of the Snow. Like, both of these films are so beautiful in their cinematography, and I'd have to look up specifically who the cinematographers were. 5 is so few. I don't know what they were doing this year, and there are 2 specific films that I think got shortchanged for this one, which are Society of the Snow, again, and Godzilla -1. I mean, they're both just so beautiful, especially the cinematography. I mean, and like Society of the Snow, the lengths they went to just to get the shots. Godzilla, I don't know all specifically, but I mean, that thing is just so beautiful. It's unlike any other Godzilla movie that there is.
It's really just like the Oscars are not favorable to
Right.
like things that are not essentially Oscar bait. I feel like, if you look at these movies, like Barbie's kind of
It's
an
weird.
outlier. Mission Impossible,
Because
Dead
you always
Reckoning
have to
getting
have those
more
like
than one
franchise ones on there
nomination
somehow.
is
Like we'll
fucking
get into it.
bonkers.
Indiana Jones is on here. Like they're always out. They're always on there. Guardians of the Galaxy, just because it's the big one, and I'm sure it got a lot of box office things. But you never expect them to win. Just real quick, the cinematography for Godzilla -1 is Kozo Shibasaki. This beautiful work. Honestly, if you get a chance to see Godzilla -1, everyone should. I didn't get a chance to see it when it came to black and white briefly for the week, but when it's on DVD, I definitely will. Society of the Snow cinematography was done by Pedro Luque. Again, also very beautiful. I mean, they went out to the Andes Mountains and shot on location for some of it. Like even just seeing beautiful nature, it's insane. Again, is that we have 1, 2, 3. I don't. Well, that, but I don't. I'm on a different rant real
5.
quick though.
All the
But I don't know
categories
if
are
Poor Things
5.
counts as a different era. I don't know, but at least 3 of these are just period pieces, which usually win because to make a period piece requires a lot of research and design and effort. And Barbie is just the outlier for this because it's like it's just a whole other world.
Yeah, so I feel like it should. That's another reason it should win. Is like you're not just looking at the
Also,
past and trying to recreate a look. You're essentially trying to
if
create a
anything,
world
it
and
inspired a
do so
ton of
without
Halloween
heavy
and
CGI
other
use.
costumes. So like if that says anything about if that says anything about your production design, I don't
Like
know.
they care about that.
I think it at least deserves it.
Well, see,
I
here's the
know,
thing: is they
yeah,
don't do sound design. They used to do like sound
which
editing,
is like
sound design, but
okay.
they just combined it to
I don't
one
know.
category to
I don't
just
know.
best sound. Because like I feel like you're
Like
not doing service to
also
sound editing and sound design. You're just saying this is the best sound. Like it might
there
seem
definitely is.
like a niche thing, but like there's a difference. You know,
But that's the only reason I because I was trying it. This one was a toss up. I mean, these are all really good, really interesting, relevant. I mean, heavy hitting short stories. But yeah, I went with War Over is Over. Also, I think because all of these, Our Uniform, 95 Senses, Letter to a Pig, and Pachyderm are very illustrative, like hand drawn short animated films, which is a little more niche. Whereas War is Over is a more not quite Pixar style, but it I don't know what you call that, full animated 3D animation style, which I think appeals more to a wider audience and is
not to this audience.
not to this audience, no. But I think it probably makes more sense to a general audience than the other ones, unfortunately. They are all beautiful though in the drawings. I mean, they're beautiful, but yeah, I think War is Over is probably visually easier to understand for a general audience. Looking into these other ones, they're very interesting. They're a little more typical indie short film, you know. And I mean, Henry Sugar is Wes Anderson. It's on Netflix. Blah 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 blah. It's got Benedict Cumberbatch. Blah 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 blah. I looking into the short films, I got really interested in Invincible. I wasn't able to watch it fully, but if it wasn't up against a Wes Anderson, I think it would take it. It's just unfortunately got a short stick on this one because it's another kind of foreign indie up against fucking Wes Anderson and Netflix. Like it's Island in Between is really beautiful. I think it doesn't quite make the cut of like a concluding story, and so I think that's why I didn't choose it, is that it's kind of like an ongoing thing that I was like, oh, you know, that's a good that could be interesting. And then I was watching it and I was like, I don't think they're gonna agree with, I don't think they want to promote this which is so unfortunate because it's so good and it talks about a lot of LGBTQ and racial issues, and I just don't think they're gonna go for that. That's my thing though, is like, it's in English, right? Zone of Interest. To me, yes, it's international because it's not the United States, but to me, it doesn't count as
because
international
it is not
because
United
it's in
States.
English. It's white
It's
people.
in English.
It's basically our forefathers. Let's just get it out there right now. And to me, a true international film, it should be foreign language, to be honest, because
You want a best
in my
foreign
opinion,
language film
a true
category.
international foreign language film requires you to pay more attention because you're reading subtitles. Like Zone of Interest is just another category, another one on, I don't know. Anyways,
See, the thing is, just like, you know, if a movie came from Canada that was just about white people and it wasn't about, like, say, the Inuit tribes of Canada, that I would accept more. But, like,
it should be foreign language.
best international film is
whatever.
super broad
Anyways,
for a category. The Oscars really need to do, like, I hate to say streaming service because that's not what I want. I want like them to put the movies
Mm-hmm.
that are up for nominations in like a
Even if you
single
have to pay
place
for them or whatever,
that
as long
people
as
can watch them. Like if it's like, you know,
and have access to all of
yeah,
them or
if it's
whatever.
like pay $50,
That would be great,
whatever the
honestly.
fuck it is,
There was a
and you get to watch all these movies, that kind of thing. Or
right.
like at least for the movies that are not like the big popular ones, like your Oppenheimers, your Barbies, your Killers, your Maestros, like all those movies,
Right.
but like all the documentaries, all the shorts, like all those should be in one place, provided by the Oscars and the Academy, so that you can watch them and actually make
Yeah.
an
Well,
opinion.
and
Not
it's
just
hard
like, well,
because
I
it's
didn't
like
have a
all
chance
a
to
lot of
see it.
the documentaries in foreign language and smaller films are they're indies, and so they're not available on streaming. They're not available online, but obviously the Oscars Academy has access to them. So share the wealth. I don't know. There used to be a theater here that every year would do Oscar shorts. They would have like a couple days where they would show all the documentary shorts, all the animated shorts, all the whatever. You could go see a whatever. But then that theater unfortunately burned down, so they haven't had a chance to do it. But
Hmm.
it was sad. But it was great because you could be like, oh, I can actually
Yes.
see these for once.
Of course, it wouldn't be the Oscars without discussing perhaps some of the things that could be improved, such as combining categories, which ones should be and which ones shouldn't be.
Also, I don't understand how Barbie is adapted, but Maestro is not
Right, right,
adapted
right.
because Maestro is based on a real person and Barbie is based off a
Also,
product. Sure, but shouldn't Maestro also technically be adapted? Unless you're just saying that you completely
it's
fictionalized
basically Oppenheimer and
fucking
Maestro.
Leonard
Like
Bernstein's
what?
whole life.
It's
Like
his life.
Oppenheimer is based off a book,
I don't know.
but what is Maestro based off of? You just like looked
Again,
up
I
facts
also
on
think Society
Wikipedia?
of Snow should be
How is that
unredacted
not
screenplay, but that's
adapted?
just me. Okay, anyways,
Anyway,
moving on. I mean, I've never understood the categorizations, and I will never continue to understand their categorizations, so.
listen, if you're gonna combine a category, just combine best original and best adapted to best screenplay, because the
Really,
margin
and
for
at this point,
what
it's just them
is adapted and
allowing
what is original
more
seems
option,
razor thin
more
at
option.
best.
They're like, yeah, but then they
Then
can't have two big
just do
names
10
win.
people in best
I don't know.
screenplay,
Anyways,
whether they're
if we're
adapted or
talking about
not.
combining categories, can we just do best supporting? Because like we really, and I mean actor and actress, like literally we're just minimizing our not our inclusivity here, especially with their whole like in the last couple of years they're trying to make the Oscars more inclusive, and you have to have A, B, and C in your film in order to submit it, blah blah blah, and then they
All right, I will pose this question to you then. But do you think that there's a difference between like I get your point, best supporting performer, actor, and then just mixing it. But do you potentially see a world where if they keep, say, the 10 nominees, there gets to be the issue of like, well,
oh
6
entirely,
male roles and 4
and I don't
female
know
roles have like, but I don't know. I see that problem happening, which is why I think it's a
entirely,
good
and I
idea,
think
but also
for
I feel like that's a
best like
problem.
lead, maybe they could maybe they just choose two leads, like why do we have to have like let's not gender separate it, let's just do best lead and choose two of them out of 10. Same with maybe supporting, but also I think supporting
Though,
usually falls slightly shorter of best lead, but it is like because they do come because the reason I this whole thing comes up is that you'll have specifically non-binary and or trans performers who don't get nominated because the Academy doesn't know where to put them, and or they don't want they don't feel comfortable doing that. So it's like we lose out.
I mean, that's a good point. I think it's a good, valid point.
I mean there's a
I don't know.
solution.
I agree with you.
Oh sure.
Maybe we should do a
There's
separate
a solution
episode on
that
this.
should be
but just,
come to, and I think
I think there's a
that
solution.
the Academy just doesn't want to put the
But, like,
effort into
The other,
figuring out what that
because if you're a trans person, you
right.
get put in the category that represents your gender. That's a no-brainer to me. Non-binary, I think, is a little bit tougher because if it's a non-binary role, versus like say someone like
You could
Bella
put him
Ramsey
in
who's playing
the
Ellie,
category that
who
matches the
is
character.
a female.
Right.
They would, yeah, but I think that's part of why it's tough because like yes, I think you want to do that, and it only really becomes tough is like if if they're playing a non-binary person, then you could maybe see where it could get tough. But I feel like the difference between like a male presenting role and a female presenting role is different. Like the things that are required
sure.
for I don't know, they're just different.
And usually the story and the role, yeah, exactly. I mean, they are different and sure, exactly. And I think, yeah, we can get into a full discussion on all of this later, but I mean, I think we're coming to a point. It's 2024, people. We're just coming to a point where I think the Academy should at least put effort in, where they don't put effort in. It's like they don't even try to put effort.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I just figured out maybe a better solution. Like something that I've always hated about the Oscars is that they don't have comedy movies don't really stand a chance, but there are some really good comedies. What if it's like
best drama,
not actor actress,
comedy drama?
It's comedy drama, like they do at the Emmys. Like best comedy, best supporting comedy, best supporting drama, best comedy actor, best drama actor. If you split it up like that, it's a little more specific. And again,
I mean, there's the Emmys has put in that effort to make it a little more inclusive. It's just like, come on, Academy, you're bigger, you can figure it out. I don't know. Anyways, that's just hot take. Did we say? Yeah, we did say so much a supporting actor if they're in like 2 scenes and they're a big name. I don't know. Not to underplay their performance. I'm sure it's amazing, but I did see, Robert De Niro seems to be in Flowers of the Moon a little more. Same with Mark Ruffalo. I mean, he's in Poor Things a whole lot. I think it would be kind of funny if Ryan Gosling won, but it would be so against everything that the movie is. So I don't even fucking know.
Honestly, I feel like it'd be the perfect dot on the I, crossing of the T to have him win that award.
But I think he would just give it away.
Way,
I think he'd give it to be honest. He's a hot young man that everyone finds attractive. I think no, but all of the anyone his age, actually anyone is just this guy, so I think not to say that's what makes them choose the winner, but
I like Cillian Murphy. He did a great job.
Maybe they do. Maybe they pull out Poor Things and they're like, oh shoot, this is the wrong envelope, and they do Oppenheimer. I don't know. And then they say, oh no, it's Barbie. Yeah. You know what? They pull out the envelope
not Oppenheimer,
and they pull
it's
out a
Barbie.
Piece of paper, half
Wait,
of
hold on, it's the holdovers. Wait, what the hell? What is going on?
I don't know. I can't.
Who won?
It's Oppen Barbie. I don't Barbie hype. This is
Barbenheimer. That would be the funniest shit ever. Listen, Will Smith isn't going to be there, so we know there's no violence. Jimmy Kimmel's hosting, so again, who cares? And, it'll be the same bland jokes, the same jokes we're all expecting. There will be some fails, there will be some surprises, and I will see them on social media.
All right, that's all we have for this week. I know it was a little bit short, but thank you so much for tuning in anyways. We'll be back in 2 weeks with some more fantastic content. Have a bam good day.